Hey guys, how you doing? Just thought I'd do a quick bench update on the T-70, Edward Francis's beautiful resin, studio scale-ish. Well, it is studio scale, it's 1/24th. It will be the same size as the filming maquettes used in the film, although it was all CG, I know, but Neil Ellis and his team made some lovely ones at 1/24 scale, and Ed has made a beautiful resin cast of, or resin master and cast of this beautiful model. Wings open and close, lovely, really clever design. I'll quickly just take this apart and show you how it works inside, if I can get it apart. It's a lovely snug fit. There's the wing mechanism inside. So there's a 1/2-inch bar that runs through the middle here, and he's made 2 tabs that go at the front and the back, and there's the 1/2-inch rod there that allows it to open and close. I was going to use a threaded 1/2-inch rod so I can mount the model at the back. I'll still do that, I think, but I'm just building it so I can get it ready for primer. So yeah, these separate, and I'll be able to take these off and prime them. So yeah, I'll just get this back together. Front, and that's the rear, and then hopefully this should, oh, before I put them in, under there I've put a 1/4-inch Panavise thread. Just tapped that in there, so that's ready to get mounted. And he's done such a beautiful job that there's no need for a huge amount of filling or anything. I mean, the way this nose cone slides on, hides the gap at the front, is genius. But it's yeah, that's better. It's such a beautiful model. I can't wait to get this in primer. And as I say, the underneath has been threaded in for a 1/4-inch thread, and there we go. More about these stands. Some people ask me how I mount my models. Lee Ralph put me onto the Panavise extension mounts, these, and they're a really easy way of displaying the studio scale stuff, though I'm not a huge fan of how these look. They're pretty ugly. When you spend all this time on a beautiful model and then you've got this horrible camera mount stuck underneath. They're fine, they do the job, and they get the model in position to get good photos and that sort of thing. But when it's on display, I much prefer just the simple mount itself. So this is just normal Panavise 1/4-inch thread camera stand, thread rod, and if you take that part off, you can mount the model underneath and have that on a much more sort of aesthetically pleasing display. And the way I've done it there is simply just a thread under there. You should be able just to unscrew that. I know this is MDF, but usually I'd use 10mm or sometimes even 20mm if it's something big like the Slave 1 or something, and just drill a hole through, countersink it, and then you can put the Panavise mount on, and it looks much nicer than the horrible big plate with all bolts in. Sometimes that's necessary and you can't avoid it, but if you can, that's how I like to display the models. And then you just mount it underneath, if we can get that in. Screw it the right way would help. And there you go. So next up will be painting, primering, and yeah, it's going together beautifully. it's a fantastic kit what Ed has produced here, and a lot of people have been asking me how to contact Ed, and I should have mentioned this in the first video. I apologise. This is kind of a promo kit, so he's sort of sending this out to a few of us just to beta test it, if you like, and paint it. And I'm just absolutely thrilled that he's chosen me to give it a paint job and give it a build up. But I think he's still deciding whether he wants to put this in full production or not. So when he's gives me the green light to sort of give his details out to people, I will, and then you can order one from him. Okay, cheers guys. Hey guys, so I've just given it a coat of primer, Tamiya fine primer. This is like it's this one. It's slightly more, as it says in the tin, fine than the normal surface primer, which I actually prefer this one. But I've been looking at Guy's lovely Bill George Y-Wing, and he's put some pictures up. Guy Cohen, this is the Emperor of Archive X. And he's put some lovely pictures up of his Bill George studio scale Y-Wing, and he's been using that fine surface primer, and I haven't used it for ages. The last time I had a slight hiccup with some resin, it was just like, I think it was the resin's fault, not the primer, but it was just leaching through, and it kind of put me off that primer. So I hadn't used it for a while, but I saw Guy's Y-Wing pictures this morning. I was like, oh gosh, it looks so nice. The smoothness of the finish is lovely, so I thought I'd give it a try, and I'm really glad I did, because this is looking really nice now. The details are really popping, and it's yeah, I mean, it's just sitting there in primer beautifully. I've still got to install the intakes and finish off the cannons and put the pilot in and everything. I might use this pilot. It's I don't know if that's a cast off an original ILM used one, but it's the I think that was the BF-109 Airfix pilot with a motorbike helmet stuck on top. I think that's what ILM used for their Thai pilots and X-Wing pilots. So as a homage to the old ILM models, I think I'll put that guy in. Now, Guy has matched the paint that the guys at Pinewood used for the U-Wings and the T-70s. Alex Hutchings painted one. I think he used AS20, the Tamiya colour, but I think Guy has matched that with one of his paints. I think I've got the right one. It's the Alliance White, and I think that'll be the one to use for this. So that'll be interesting to put that down. And then for the orange, I'll just be using the Reefer Orange, like I did on the black version of this, the Force Awakens one. But yeah, it's so nice to look at. This is I mean, the Corbanth one was quite nice, but this is leaps and bounds ahead of it. I mean, the fact that it's, you know, you can open and close the wings. It's more accurate, easier to put together. The paint sticks. But I just need to close it up, fill this, and then just shoot with the airbrush and primer just along the seam, and then start laying down the base coats. But yeah, fantastic model, and I really have enjoyed doing this. So thank you, Ed, for passing it along to me. And I just want to apologise. The first section of this video, like a dummy, I've presented the whole video with the X-Wing off at an angle. Like, you can hardly see it. So I do apologise for that. In the next instalment of videos that I do, I'll try and keep the model in frame, so at least you can see what I'm talking about. All right, cheers guys, thanks.